Welcome back.
Welcome back to the mirror, guys. We missed y'all.
Did we?
No.
I'm just joking. Of course, we missed everybody.
of course. What's been going on? It's just another week then passed, and we are back here, guys. And it's just like
Back here.
an amazing feeling, and again, so grateful. But just checking in and see what's going on. You know what?
What?
This episode of the mirror, we are literally going to dedicate this to what you want to call it, twin.
Oh, we could call it a lot. I think we should dedicate it to pettiness and
Oh,
the king of petty, who
oh,
I admire. So bowing down to you for being so petty.
it's giving dirty mirror.
It is such dirty mirror. And kudos to 50 Cent because I strive to be that level of petty one day in my life. Like, good for you.
Oh, we're there, honey. We're there,
Like he is the villain and he accepts that he's the villain and he gonna show out on being the villain.
and that's the best. I'm proud of him, and I'm happy for him. Like I'm rooting for him during this. Like this has been an epic move, and it's like a whole entire checkmate in front of the world.
I mean, yeah, Diddy should have never asked to take him shopping or fucked his baby mama. So
you know,
here we are.
Before we get into this, all laughs, of course, looking back in hindsight and everything, but do you know that we would easily been included in this documentary? Like for real, like we're taking this lightly and laughing about it, but in the state of mind, like hearing everything and knowing everything is like it completely makes sense. Stuff would have added up to where yes, the documentary you probably would have saw us like stuck on the side of the fence with one shoe on. It's like of course I'm going to the party, but knowing that
I'm not going.
you would have went.
No, 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 no.
Not if you didn't know what you didn't know.
Okay, no, no, absolutely not. So I'm just gonna put it out here. No, because it was no different. We're millennials. And this is what we grew up on. We grew up listening to this music and knowing these people.
Right.
Everybody knew what R. Kelly was doing. I'm
Yep.
not going to an R. Kelly party.
But
And
we
it was
didn't
no
know.
different than the Diddy situation. We
But
all knew shit was going down at a Diddy party.
but we didn't know that growing up though. Like not in depth. Like those.
Well, no, I mean, obviously not in depth. And I still think that we don't know what's in depth. So before we jump into the reckoning, let's just talk about let's talk about the trial. Let's start with the trial. Okay, so Diddy was on trial for sex trafficking and exploitation and whatever else he was on
Right.
trial for.
Yeah.
And my thing about that is I feel like the defense built the case incorrectly. You all wanted to take him down for racketeering. You all wanted to, put that RICO charge on him. You wanted to do this. You wanted to do that. The defense did not paint the proper picture. My thing is, you can be a freak. Ain't nothing wrong with it. I don't kink shame.
Yeah.
Do what
Yeah.
you want to do with who
Right.
the fuck you want to do it with.
Exactly.
And as long as all adults are consensual, it's nobody's business what you doing behind closed doors. It opened my eyes a little bit to Diddy. He's a cuck. 110%
Oh,
sure
for
he's a
sure.
cuck. You
For
know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, he got a little bit different flavor in the tank that he likes. And there's nothing wrong with being a freak. Now, prayers to any of his victims that were not consensual. That's where it's sad.
Yeah.
As a domestic violence survivor, I feel bad for Cassie. But on the flip side, after watching the documentary and after paying attention, and we discussed this because we were on Twincation while the trial was going on,
Yep.
at some point, she's guilty too. And
Yeah.
again, I'm not victim shaming. The domestic violence, 110%, that shit was happening. And I feel bad for her for that.
I
Do
think
I
it
feel bad for her for the sexcapades and the freak offs? No, I
right,
don't. I
and
don't.
that's the part I thought they got like it started getting like messy and it became like bigger than what it is because the defense was trying to find some type of angle, something that was gonna stick. So
Yeah, yeah.
outside looking in, what we saw, it was just like, all the freak offs and all that. But the stuff under all of that, it was just, that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, like, hold on, like, I get it, Cassie, you did your thing and whatever, and everybody else participated, cool, whatever. But it's like the underlying stuff that was not brought to the light that the defense should have brought up, which they didn't. But they was probably not privy to the information until, most recently, where everything started hitting the fan and the stuff that was trying to stick to him, it couldn't stick. But
Exactly. Well, I don't even feel like they're trying to make it stick. And if, again, if you watch the documentary and the footage, that he got was right before he got arrested. That was what the whole case was about, was the sex trafficking and the sexual abuse. And Twin, make sure we put a disclosure on this episode for what we're talking about.
Well, the disclosure is, I don't give a fuck because 50 did it, so what you gonna fucking do? You come out and shit. Goddamn, it's out there. It's public news. This is public. We doing a public.
It is. It's public record. Well, before we jump further into it, guys, if you don't want to hear about sexual assault, potential rapes, or domestic violence,
don't watch the documentary. I mean, we talking about.
Don't watch the documentary and don't listen to the episode. That's all I got.
We're talking about what's out there, so
because we're going to talk about it. But anyway, so with that being said, I feel like that's what the defense. I'm not even going to say the defense. Okay, I think that's what the prosecution team wanted. The prosecutors in the state of New York wanted to take him down for the criminal activities. However, the prosecution only built it for the sexual assault. And the bottom line is he's a freak. Point blank, period. I'm sorry. And did you see the man he was paying to have sex with her?
Oh my God.
Come on. Baby, you could have done better.
I see a lot. It was just.
I don't want to have sex with him.
I mean, I don't understand.
There was no attraction there.
Listen.
I don't look like a frog.
Not even Jiminy, like anything. No cricket, no nothing. You just, what is that?
What are you doing?
It's like, you got all this money and you doing that? Come on now.
That's what you did? Like, you couldn't have found somebody better for Cassie? I mean, Diddy's ugly in his damn self. He's ugly as fuck.
Yeah, you did it all wrong, but I don't know what was going on in that. But the documentary, like, really highlighted. I kind of got to focus on the gist of it, what they were saying, which was my takeaway about, he had his own insecurities and stuff,
Oh, for sure.
He got into the game and everything. Like, he was nobody and still was
nobody. He was a nerd.
Yeah, and it was like, how did you even get to that status? But
let's just start. Let's start from the beginning. Okay. So he drops out of Howard University. Come on.
Yeah.
So that right there shows, you got something going for you. You got accepted to Howard. You're going to Howard University, and then hip hop's coming up. And that's where you feel drawn to, and that's understandable. So you go over, to Uptown. And was he doing good as a party promoter? Was he doing good, as Andre Harrell's second hand? Absolutely. But I think right there is where the God complex started. What is your opinion on that?
Yeah, he was giving intern vibes, and found like.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, because he didn't really put in no groundwork on what he was doing. It was kind of like give it to him as far as, let me see what you can do. You go ahead and do it, and then you got like some type of little air under your wings. But actually, what you did, you really haven't done anything. It was given like. Like you was a whole intern, and I don't even understand like how people was even hype off it. But again, this is a different time and age and day to where stuff like that was, new and popular. So I understand that aspect of it. But dude, what was you actually doing? That part, it still doesn't make sense to me. I don't see what you have provided to make this statue of what you're trying to be, of who you are. It's like you just what the fuck? This is the mailman that turned into somebody.
I mean, yeah, but again, Andre Harrell saw something in him, and I could see where the charisma was. I can see where he could be persuading and manipulative and all the things that he is. I could see where he achieved that, but at the end of the day, I feel like you're a bottom bitch.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
want what everybody else has, and instead of being original, you took from everybody.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You took people's girlfriends because you wanted them. You did all of these things to build yourself a statute, but you didn't do it, in my opinion, authentically. You went and you started
Right,
Bad Boy, which was,
right, right,
good for the culture. I'm
right,
not going to say that the things that he did musically was incorrect. I mean, he contributed a lot to the hip hop culture. I won't discredit him on that at all. He brought us Biggie. He brought us
right.
Mary. He brought us Jodeci.
Yeah, for
He
sure.
brought us the foundation of R&B and hip hop.
You can't take that away from him. It's
You
like
cannot take that away from him musically, just like R. Kelly. You can't take away anything from R. Kelly musically just because of what he chose to do behind closed doors.
yeah, because I was still hurt off of like Dirty Money. Like I was rooting for that group. Like dude, when it came out, it was like this is the shit for me. Like
Yeah,
I was a huge fan of them, but just to be able to separate that, it was just like damn. It's like fuck, bro.
it's sad. I mean, the whole thing is sad, the rise, the fall, whatever. But that's obviously his early years. He goes and he starts Bad Boy, and again, uh, Andre Harrell let him bring Biggie. That was the money ticket. Did you feel like he was really? I'm trying to think of how to word the question. Number one, I'm just gonna say it's fucked up that you pocketed all that money. You
For real,
pocketed all that money, and all
all of
your artists were fucking starving.
it. For
You were
real.
treating your artists like shit, and I think that's where he became intimidated by Suge. He became
Yeah.
intimidated by Suge Knight because he saw how good he was doing for his artists over in Death Row.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
And I think that it was a jealousy thing. He wanted what he couldn't have, or not what he couldn't have because he had it. But I don't really know. He wanted the. I'm trying to think of the wording that I'm looking for. He wanted the credibility of being this person, but he wasn't that person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think he was intimidated by anybody that saw who through him. You know me. I love Tupac. Oh my God, I love Tupac. I'm an avid Tupac
I
fan.
know what I tell
I
you.
fucking love
She
Tupac.
can repeat every fucking lyric, every word with no beat, everything. I'll be like, what? She even talks to Tupac sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck you talking about? You be like, so you don't remember this song? I'll be like, for real? Huh?
I love Tupac, and I love Tupac more as a musician. I love him as the revolutionary that he was, what he did for human rights, and who he was as a human. Tupac was amazing, and had he not died, God, I
Yo,
can't think of how great of a person he would have became.
that was the most shocking part of the documentary to me was that focus on that, like knowing that Tupac and Biggie, they was friends. They went on tour together and
Yeah,
all that stuff. But he
yeah,
can, like, I was like mind blown. I was like, I did not know this. Like, we always, suspected, he had something to do with it, or
always, yeah.
whatever the case is. But to see it in that light, that hit a different nerve in me. It was like, dude, they was actually friends. And then Biggie didn't want no smoke at all.
No, no, he
He was like,
didn't, and I think,
he was a cute and cuddly bear. It was like he did not want
oh,
none of
he's the big old bear.
that. Stop it.
No, I don't know. I feel like that's where Diddy became intimidated by Pac because he saw that Pac and Biggie were getting close, and I think that he looked at Tupac as a threat
Yeah,
to Biggie. Biggie was his
he got
moneymaker.
jealous. He got jealous, and
He
he was
got
like, "Hold
jealous.
on."
I mean, that's what it boiled down to, and I feel like he implanted the beef in Biggie's head. He did that. Whenever Tupac went to that studio and got shot, I don't think Biggie had nothing to do with that, but Diddy set
Right,
that shit up.
right,
And
right.
then you see it happen, and several years later, that producer says the same shit. That him and his son supposedly shot somebody in the bathroom,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
allegedly shot somebody in the bathroom. Well, that's the same shit they did to Tupac, which I understand from Tupac's point of view. Fuck you, dog. I don't want nothing to do with you. Like I'm done, and I get that. I don't know. I've always suspected that he had Tupac killed. I don't think that there's anything pointing against that,
Yeah, it
if that
just
makes sense.
overall, I just hate like how the industry has its own little stuff going on, which has been going on for decades. You got your
Hmm.
your Hugh Hefners, you got your, your, of course, your Jeffrey Epstein's and all this stuff, and
And your Harvey Weinsteins
right,
and your R. Kelly's and
all of
your
that.
Bill Cosby's.
Yeah, and it's just wild to me how stuff just comes like to surface, and then everything is looked through like it's very clouded because you don't know what to believe, what not to believe, and then
Hmm.
all the people who decide to, you know, step up and speak for themselves, they're scrutinized, and it just gets real messy. It's just like I don't know, as a individual, how do you allow yourself to get in those situations? I get it from an aspect
I
of,
think it's easy.
yeah, I get it from the aspect of, you're young, and then there's money involved, you're around, these stars and stuff, and
Hmm.
the correct things to do. But at the same time, there's got to be some type of fence for you to understand, like,
Right from wrong.
right, and protecting yourself, because
Well, it's like Denzel Washington said, he asked about going to the Diddy parties before, and, his answer was, you leave before the devil gets there.
right, yep, I heard
And,
that.
and, and I can attest to that. People in the industry had talked about how evil he was for a long, long, long time. And if we backtrack and you look at, because Diddy parties was what was hot whenever we were coming up into our,
Right,
our late teens, early 20s, and all of that. And if you go back to like the magazines, and yes, y'all, I throw it back to magazines because we didn't have all this in your face TMZ and all this other
right,
shit. But you go back to the magazines and you look on there and you see, pictures of who was at the parties, and you got your top people, your big industry wigs were at these parties. And with the Me Too movement, and now them bringing down R. Kelly, and they brought down Diddy, and they brought down Jeffrey Epstein. They need to bring down fucking President Trump and Bill Clinton, but that's another topic.
Mhm.
But here's my thing: who are they going to go after next? Who else is to reckon? I'm ready for them to go after Jay-Z. I want to see what's
Everybody,
going on with that.
everybody,
Now let me ask you, and any of you guys out there, if y'all are not familiar with Jaguar Wright, a couple years ago, she came out with everything that came out in this trial, the things that
mhm,
Diddy was doing to Cassie, the fact that he had Pac killed. I don't think he intentionally had Biggie killed, but he should have let Biggie fucking go to London, and then Biggie may still be here with us today.
right.
But he wanted Biggie there for clout. He wanted to prove you can't make me go out of your neighborhood. Just he's a bitch. He's a pussy bitch. That's what he is.
Oh,
And I just got off my original question.
it's okay. You're finding it. It's like
I'm not.
it's this is just something, when you're speaking about passion about something. It's like, we have the knowledge of all of this because it is something that we literally grew up in this culture. So like to see it
Hmm.
all unfold during this time at this day and age, it's like that shit's crazy. It's like I'm still puzzled, and I'm still lost for words. Just like just watching it was just like I had to sit there for a minute. I don't even smoke, but I wanted a cigarette after watching this damn thing. I was like, damn, what the fuck did I just watch, bro?
This shit was intense. It was intense. Now, another question that I have for you. Obviously we touched on the whole Biggie situation and the Pac situation.
Mm,
Well, allegedly, all the people from then, except for the guy that he took the 25% back, nobody exists anymore. That was in the early days of Bad Boys, per se. Andre Harrell died. Kim Porter, she died. And then Al B. Sure almost died of a mysterious heart issue. And then Jamie Foxx was hospitalized after going to a Diddy party.
yep.
Do you think it's coincidental?
No, I just think that it's the way that the media is spinning it, and people are not. I don't know. It's like that they're not understanding the full scope of the situations, or not trying to dig too far because it's probably going to lead them to darker places.
A huge rabbit hole.
So it's like this goes all the way back to God rest her soul, one of my favorite artists, Aaliyah. How does she?
Yes.
Like it goes all the way back to that. So all these things are questionable, but in my head is believable, but just can't put the pieces together. And the only way that can be done, sitting on this side, is for it to be showcased to us, which that'll probably never be done because everything is hidden and covered up and moved over.
Right. And that question just came back to me.
There
So
you
we were
go.
talking about Jaguar, right?
I told you she's gonna find it.
I did. Thank you. You brought it back. You helped me. You brought it back. You called for it. But Jaguar Wright came out a couple years ago and sat down on that couch and she said all of this shit is true. You know, she even talked about rest in peace Aaliyah. I loved Aaliyah. She's one of my favorite artists. That, you know, Aaliyah had to go so that Beyonce can make a way. Do I believe that? No, not necessarily.
Right, right.
Not exactly. But do I feel like Jay-Z groomed Aaliyah after R. Kelly? Absolutely. Do I feel like he groomed Beyonce? Absolutely. Those are just my opinions. Probably not true. Probably not true.
I agree with you. You know, it's definitely an opinion.
But that's part of what goes on in the industry. And it's really sad. And I feel bad for young girls that are being thrown into the industry. Look at Cassie. Cassie was 19 years old. And you just fed her to the fucking devil.
Okay, so this brings up a point. Your boy that was in it, the producer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to fucking say it. What? How many times you got to wake up in bed next to that man and your ass hurts? How many fucking times are you going to wake up next to that man and your booty hurts and you don't know what happened?
You didn't question it night one, but like, oh, okay.
That part. That part. And you still didn't get your 250,000.
Maybe it was the tacos. I mean, what the fuck?
Maybe, but it's highly unlikely. But you still didn't get that 250 grand. Yeah. You're still waiting on that 250 grand. And so I hope whatever he did to you was worth it.
And in the end, I'm sure it was money on his mind. It was probably keeping him there. But come on, dude.
You have to have self-respect and morals. I'm sorry. You know, I was speaking to somebody about it because you and I have not talked about it. We both watched it. We agreed that we weren't going to discuss it until today.
Right.
So I've been talking to other people about it. And, you know, it was brought to my attention. If you go to a Diddy party, you know what the fuck you're going for. You know there's a possibility you're going to get drugged. You know there's a possibility you're going to may or may not be involved in a freak off. These are all possibilities that you know could potentially happen if you go to a Diddy party. Does it stop you from going? And can you cry wolf or can you cry about it the next morning?
Right.
Kind of like the producer guy. You can't cry about it because you did this for 2 years. You started with him in Los Angeles. You literally flew to Miami and lived with him in Miami. And you were still partaking. So why are you sitting there crying now?
And you were sold on hopes and dreams because of his celebrity and
the celebrity, yeah, and the fact that you produced his album that gives you a big great name, you know, and you got nothing from it.
That's just wild. Like, yeah, I wouldn't have made it day one. Like day one, I would have been kicked out because I'm like, look here, motherfucker. Nah, this shit's crazy. Like, nah, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work for me.
That's not gonna work for you.
Nah.
So you're not going to the Diddy party.
I would have went one time.
I don't think I would have went at all.
But after that, I saw, if I saw what was going down, because I would have been like, Denzel, I would have been gone before everything else happened. I wouldn't have went there for the party, the meet and greet the other celebrities and stuff. We seen all his parties being showcased, especially in the daytime. Everybody's there. Mm-hmm. Mary J. Blige, everybody. But the freak offs didn't happen until, whatever, after 2 a.m. I would have been gone before then because I don't know. Shut up.
What you have?
It depends on. It would have been one time, bro. Like,
in all seriousness, I'm not. I feel bad for any of his victims. I legitimately do. I feel bad for the victims, such as Aubrey O'Day. I feel really bad for her. Yeah. I feel terrible for her. I feel bad for Albie Shore, believe it or not. Not only did Diddy take Kim Porter and have babies with her, But Diddy also took his son and has manipulated and brainwashed his son.
Uh,
That's fucked up to me.
in all of those situations, individually they're all unique because he had his way with everybody, and I don't know what he used besides money to manipulate them to stay in those situations.
It sure the fuck one his looks.
I mean, I was getting there because, like, bro,
I got there for you.
it's like, calm down, bro.
He is an ugly man.
Not gonna happen. Like, no,
Not attractive
oh no,
whatsoever. But I mean, I get the, I get it.
yeah, yeah,
I get
definitely
it.
get it, definitely get it.
I can understand it. But if it happened one time, I'm not going to go back a second time. I'm just not. I, I don't know. I don't know. Now, again, as far as the indictment, as far as the 4 years he's serving, again, it's not illegal to be a freak. It's not illegal to have kinks. That's not illegal. I felt like if they really wanted to make things stick on him, they should have built way more evidence, and they should have surrounded not only from, the sexual assaults or the domestic violence or the trafficking. There's a whole lot more shit that they could have built on him.
Uh,
I mean, there's bodies that could have been probably put on his team in,
it's
in the
crazy.
investigation, which it still very well could come up because that leader of the Crips that he had contracted is going to go to trial over the Tupac murder. So,
Mhm.
I mean, there still could potentially be charges that may come down on Diddy whenever it comes time for him to go to trial for the Tupac thing.
Bro, the biggest flex, which has made me love 50 even more, is
Mm-hmm.
that, like, throughout this process of him reaching out and interviewing witnesses and victims and stuff, he's paid them what they were owed from him. So
Has he? Because
yeah,
I read that nobody that was on the documentary was paid to be there.
right, they wasn't paid to be there, but he's basically, um I guess, sealing it. I mean, in better terms, he's basically sealing a deal with them to where they can't, they won't turn back. And because for some reason, Diddy still has a big head thinking he's going to have this major comeback when he gets out because he is who he is. So he's basically locked in with them. But yeah, they was not paid to be on documentary, but 50 has paid their debt that they were owed because of
I didn't know that. I would have to research that.
like
I've not heard that yet.
like the little suffering and whatever people who were was promised college tuition and stuff like that. So I don't know if he did it for all the victims, but there's like a handful that he did do.
Well, I hope he gave your girl her $5,000 to get her kids
Yeah, so he did that. He called it out of good faith, but
because it was the audacity for me.
yeah,
She asked him for $5,000 to help get her children back,
right.
and you could not give her $5,000.
That's wild.
$5,000 is like $20 to that man. It wouldn't have hurt him. And then you had the nerve to call talking about, I need you to save face on this lawsuit.
Yeah,
No,
so this is
you can
this
right now.
this is not one of those stories to where I felt like people was talking for clout out the side of their ass, because these are some most of the people that were on this are been with him for a while, that
Yes,
got, like, the producers and stuff that's been with him from day one, all that. So it's legit, because they then the one guy that was always on the other documents before 50 even dropped this one, he's the Bible. He's been with him since the 90s, and he said, I've been telling people this, and no one, they didn't take it no further than where it went.
exactly.
So he is
Well, just like his neighbor.
he is goat on that.
Yeah, like his neighbor, he grew up with him. And, his mom would throw those parties.
Yeah.
Behavior's learned. I will say that behavior is learned. And you look at how he grew up. We'll say how he grew up under his mom, you know. back in that time frame.
Yep.
The way he grew up, witnessing her lifestyle, because they said it without saying it, she's still hustling drugs and everything else, having these parties, doing all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's witnessing this, then he goes to college and he comes out and he's in the hip hop scene in New York and everything that's going on there, and the first victim that he evidently assaulted and recorded, he was doing that based on what he saw somebody else do. So it's like, it, it it's kind of a touchy subject on the learned behavior, I
Yeah.
guess. Like he was manipulated and swayed that this was the person. He saw all these people doing these things and he was like, oh, I could do that. I'm going to do that because they're doing it and they're getting away with it. And he did. He got away with it for a really, 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 really long time. And I think if that video of Cassie, in the hotel, I think if that wouldn't have came out, it may not have opened such a big investigation.
Right.
But when she went and sued him for the trauma and everything else, that kind of opened up the doors. Like, okay, yeah, like I said, everybody knew what the fuck was going on, but it made him reachable. He was reachable. Do you think his sons are involved? The
Uh,
oldest three?
Hell
Do you
yeah.
think they're doing the same shit?
Hell yeah.
I do
I
too.
do.
The first baby mama, Misa, she came out and said that her and Justin are getting death threats, and she's pissed off at 50 about it. Obviously,
I mean, it's not his fault.
I mean, it's not his fault.
He
He
didn't do none of
simply
this.
said what the fuck was going on.
I mean, I'm just putting out there what was. I mean, he just basically.
Did you know that all whatever people wanted to interview him because the documentary went #1 so fast, so everybody wanted to interview him and all this other stuff. He is so motherfucking petty. He was only doing interview with CBS News channels because that is one of the only channels that is broadcast in jail. Because he wanted to make sure make sure that Diddy sees the shit that he is running him through the fucking mud. And then I saw one celebrity, I don't know who it was. He came out and standing with Diddy talking about, it's just one more reason for people to drag a black man down, and I don't stand behind that. I'm sorry, sir. Excuse me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. Come again.
that's bogus as fuck. That's bogus. Like, okay, so what role do you play in this, sir? So keep talking. You probably in a clip somewhere too. So shut the fuck up. I was like, I want to hear that. That's wild.
I don't know. The whole thing is crazy. I feel bad for his daughters. I think it's horrible.
Yeah, like I feel bad for the entire family. Like, yeah, you just ripped off. But at the end of the day, you went as far as you could, and you built the empire. So hopefully, y'all got
Yeah.
y'all experienced and got to live through that good side of it. But it's the end now, and looking back on everything, I'm more concerned about what effects it has on you know just the industry alone, meaning like all the other incidents that come up with other people, just I don't know. It's like it seems like all the legends that we thought were legends or have been brought down by similar things, and it's just like that's just wild because it's just these and it's crazy that it takes this long to find this stuff out. Here we are, coming into our late age and stuff and everything. It's like we grew up with all this and we've heard about it, seen it a little bit, but it was never
Hmm.
a big thing as it is now. And for like the new artists and stuff that's out there now, I hope they're not, dipping into the pool or understanding what their boundaries and stuff are because this stuff is so tainted, man. It's like I don't know. It seems like it's an old saying, money is a root to all evil, and
Yeah.
it's like stuff like this. It's like, come on now. It's like I understand you do what you do when you want to do it, but if it's going to a certain magnitude, it's got to be some type of safety net put in place because there's a lot of people, losing lives, losing families, ending careers,
Yeah.
broke. Um, you know, I've seen celebrities they're homeless, laying on the streets and stuff now because of certain things and stuff that happen. But it's just so wild that like I get it. It's the world. It's the world we live in. But I don't know what it would be like to be in those shoes and let that happen to you, or for you to choose to be in that situation. So I just
Oh, yeah.
that's why I just be just minding my business, man. I just feel like
Yeah.
because it's too many layers to it, and I get it. You know, your grandmother's sick, so you're going to go over here and do this, and now you assigned your soul over it, and now you're stuck. And
And that's kind of like what you're doing with him. You know,
yeah,
you made a deal with the devil.
yeah,
And that's what happens when you get in the bed with the devil.
and then 10 years later, you know, you want to, say you're a victim, but that only goes so far with it because how are you a victim when you know you was getting yourself into versus the ones who did not know what they're getting themselves into, so that's where it becomes a little cloudy and funny to me. It's like I hear everybody, I see everybody, but some of the stories don't be storying. It's like I don't know, but that's just crazy.
I think it's sad. It's sad for, you know, ultimately the younger people that bad things may or may not have happened to,
Yeah,
like Usher and Justin Bieber.
right, right.
That's really sad if the allegations are true that he did these things to them and they were fucking children. That's horrible, and that's again with the R. Kelly situation. That's where it's unforgivable.
You know who I wish I could hear from? Like who's just really disappeared? Like out of all the victims and everything's going on, dude, do you remember Farnsworth Bentley?
Oh my God. So my best
Where
friend's
the fuck is
husband
he
said that the other day. We were
at?
talking about it. And he was like, "Where did he go?"
For real.
And then my best friend, she was like, "I wish I knew what went on in J Lo and Diddy's relationship." But I'm sure those NDAs are clad tight.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll probably never, ever, ever know what happened there. But
So
here's my thing too, and I
until then,
also saw something
until then, we're
else.
gonna speculate, and make up our own stories. So
Yeah,
until you shut
pretty
me
much,
up.
unless it ever comes to light, and neither one of them are. Well, I'm sure she won't ever have that come to light, and that's understandable. She has a reputation that she has to abide by too. But it would be interesting to have been a fly on the wall and seen
Yeah,
what happened there. That would have been pretty interesting. But yeah, I agree with you on Farnsworth Bentley. What the fuck?
yeah. He's just like disappeared. But I've tried to do some research stuff on him. I know that he got a family and stuff. I think he lives here. I think he lives in Atlanta, and
Oh, okay.
but according to the records though, he's good and just staying out the way. It's like, but there's been no words from him, no nothing. No,
And again, he probably had an NDA.
I mean, but what good does that do if a motherfucker's locked up now? The NDA only goes so far.
I mean, there's statute of limitations on it, but an NDA also makes it to where you can be sued if you open your mouth.
But don't a judge have control over that?
No, it's a binding contract.
Okay.
Um, I mean, and again, it depends on the terms of the NDA, but it's typically a binding contract. They have statute of limitations. Like, for example, if you were to get a job working for a celebrity, you would sign an NDA, and it would be like for X amount of years or whatever. You can't talk about this, or this. It's kind of like the cell phone thing. They take away the cell phones when you go to the Diddy party.
That's just crazy.
And it's just because you know, it is
Yeah,
what the fuck it is. But yeah,
I
you
wish
get
they
it.
did.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing is it's sad. It's sad. It's sad what goes on in these industries. And it's not just, the Diddy situation and his victims, but you look at the R. Kelly victims, and you've got to look at the Bill Cosby victims and the Jeffrey Epstein victims and the Harvey Weinstein victims and your boy from fucking Nickelodeon
Yep,
that
yep.
messed up Amanda Bynes.
I know that was another one.
You got to look at all of these things. They put these people of power and they're fucking predators. They're predators. And it's really sad. It's very sad. But I think the reason why we're not hearing from like J Lo and we're not hearing from Farnsworth and we're not hearing from certain people is because of the NDAs. NDAs are ironclad.
Yeah,
And maybe one day when the NDA expires or the person dies, then we might hear stories.
and we'll be tuning in.
We'll be waiting.
I can't wait. If you're out there and you're listening, we are here for you.
Yes. But again, I do really think that the whole thing is horrible. All of his victims, it's just all awful. It's all awful.
Yeah.
And it makes me sad. And, I hope he gets what's coming to him. 4 years in jail, I don't think it's fucking enough.
Just like shit. When I first heard this shit, like, years ago, I was like, damn, not another one. Come on now. All this good fucking music, bro. Calm
I never liked
down.
his music.
Shit. It's like I love his features. It's like not I mean, what was crazy is like the documentary showcase. He was not never an artist. It's like you don't rap, you don't sing, you just
And that's what he really wanted to be, was an artist.
yeah, when they said if you get this motherfucker dancing in your video, your life is I fell out. I was like,
Because it's all he does. It's all he fucking does is dances in the videos. Come on, dude.
It's like, yeah, I want this motherfucker in my video dancing, hopping around and shit. So I was like, this shit was funny as fuck to me. Like, so that tickled me to death though, but because that's literally all he does.
I mean, that's all he does. And do you know that whenever he did the Biggie song, I'll Be Missing You with Faith Evans and Sting,
Mm-hmm.
did you know Sting came out and said that he did not get approval for that? So Sting sued him and now he gets royalty on it every single day.
Wow, I did not know that. That's new news to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And the fact that I think what kind of surprised me too is he was making all this money and you weren't taking care of your people. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
But how would you think you would get away with that? It's just like,
Because you got to think, unfortunately, there is, these people are coming from nothing and they're getting a shot at all this gold and diamond and fame and, all the good shit. And they're willing to say, okay, you're going to give this to me whenever you give this to me. And that's okay because I got to deal with so and so. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I easily get that.
So, I mean, you got to think desperate needs call for desperate measures. But at the end of the day, it's just really fucking sad because you exploited your artist. You exploited these women and these men, and these men. Let's just face facts.
Yeah.
And then what bothered me is you played the victim. He played the fucking victim. He was playing the victim. Don't do that. You can't do that. You have to take accountability for what you did. And now you're so scared that you're going to go to jail and you're scared of this and you're scared of that. Homie, you weren't scared of that when you was doing a crime.
Right.
And what really fucking burned me is when he went downtown to mingle with people and got in a car talking about, I just fucking don't like him. I hope he gets beat up a whole lot.
Yeah, that was a whack ass move. It's like, and I'm hoping that this shines light for the future to come. I'm sure there's gonna be the next big story on something, somebody else doing something, but
Mm-hmm.
it's right here.
At least back in the old days, that shit was just, I mean, obviously not the Bill Cosby and the Quaalude situation, but
Right.
I mean, fucking look at Ike Turner.
Yeah.
you know,
Let's start
his
there.
shit was a Fred Street. There was no stories to come out about him. He did that shit in everybody's face. Back then,
he said, "Yeah, I did it."
yeah, he did it. Not condoning domestic violence at all, you guys. So that's not what I mean by that. I'm just saying there's a difference in the generations
Yeah.
of the things that were happening behind, closed doors. And I don't know. I think, out of all of them, the Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, all of them, out of everybody, even Diddy, the one that surprised me the most was Bill fucking Cosby.
I mean, it surprised me, but not to the extent of where I couldn't believe it. It just surprised me to like, what? Like why? Like, it was like a more of a what? Like the fuck is
Taken aback.
yeah, and this goes all the way back to like, the dude. The only one like out of all everybody who's been caught up in, the shenanigans to this day, I am sorry. It was old Michael Jackson for me. It's like I've watched all those documentaries. It's still on the fence. Like, did it or did it not happen? Because then you got the
I'm on the fence with you. Part of me doesn't feel like it happened.
yeah, it's like I just
I,
didn't
I
see
forgot what
that.
the disorder is called. It's where their childhood's ripped away from them, so that they go into childlike
Yeah,
as they get older. I don't think he did. I, I really don't.
yeah. Then
It was inappropriate.
yeah, for sure. But
It was so fucking inappropriate. But
a lot goes into it, and then the accusations, everything that went
yeah,
into it is just
which
like
I think that's why it wasn't canceled.
yeah,
Like, all these other people, we cancel them out immediately. And I think that Michael wasn't canceled just because you don't really know.
uh,
It's still inexcusable. And I would still not have let my son stay the night with a girl
the
named.
fuck
I'm sorry.
no.
I'm not doing that.
That part right there was a red flag at the door. It's like I don't give a fuck who you are. Like no, if you spend the night, we're all spending the night. It's like
Yeah, pretty
we're
much.
family night at your house. The fuck.
Order pizza,
No, but
pop the popcorn.
I'm going to order it with your money. That's what I'm going
Yeah,
to do.
pretty much. I'll let you know whenever it's here.
No, you're not bringing in shit. I got it.
Yeah. I don't know, baby. It's all horrible. And again, prayers to the victims. Shout out to 50. I love the petty. I'm here for his pettiness. I am here for it.
Dude,
And if we did learn one thing, don't ever cross him because he's going to get his lick back.
and I'm going to enroll in his next class.
I think he needs to teach a program.
It's like,
what is his sign? What is his zodiac sign? I'm going to look it up.
Right, because that shit right there is real. Like, dude,
If he's a fucking Capricorn, I would be like, what? Hold on, I'm looking it up. I have to know what his sign is.
yeah, see it through, my boy.
I have to see it all the way through. While I'm looking that up, though, Twin, why don't you tell everybody where to find us?
Outside, right here. I'm just playing, y'all.
He's a fucking Cancer.
Oh shit, that makes sense too. Okay, all right, say less.
Alrighty, well there goes part of the pettiness. We get it.
Yep, that's wrapped up in one, so you can seal that. I didn't do that. It just stopped. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that in. But glad you caught it. I heard it. You didn't see.
I'm glad you did catch it because I dn't hear it. We'll edit that part out, of course, and then just combine these two. But yeah, so our socials.
Thank y'all so much for joining in and listening to our jabber in the mirror, because y'all know y'all love this shit. Like we can just be as messy as everybody else. So, but yeah, y'all make sure y'all tune in with us and follow us. Go to mirrors.com. Catch us on IG at mirror_mirror
_ podcast.
Oh shit! Hold on, I cut out.
That's why I finished it for you.
I was like, wait a minute, what happened?
So IG is mirror_mirror_podcast. And then obviously our website, as you said, Twin. We're out every Wednesday, guys. So make sure you check us out.
Run this shit up. We love y'all.
Absolutely. And don't forget, stay in the mirror. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. If y'all have not seen the documentary, don't just follow up what everybody's talking about on TikTok. You got to watch it.
Watch it for yourself. Get in there.
Yes. And get your own opinions.
And make sure you keep your mirror clean, okay?
Yes, for sure. We don't want no more dirty mirrors.
Wipe that shit up. Let's go.
Have a good week, you guys. Stay blessed and humble and kind.
Bye.
Bye.